Hello, craft. Ow. Why would you do that? Hello, crafters. I have to tone myself down because my wife is threatening violence upon my body.
With pizza.
But I am super excited this week because this week we are doing an unboxing of the brand new Warhammer 40,000 Command Edition Battlefield expansion set. We're going to open this puppy up and see what's in here. Okay, so here we are with our Command Edition Battlefield expansion set. This is the terrain half of the starter set. Or you can buy it separately like I did here for $90 USD.
Was rather amusing because I had actually seen it on the shelf. He didn't.
I kind of made it a point to not look at it too much. I wanted to be surprised by the unboxing. And the pictures in the GW website make it look a little smaller. Boy, was I wrong. This is a big boy. $90, it's the equivalent in cost to the Kill Team box sets for terrain or the Warcry terrain box sets. And it feels like it's got the same, if not a little more. So we're going to find out. Let's pull the box top off. All right. And here we go. Okay, so top frame is that boiler. And wow, that is beat to hell.
It's really nice. I mean, you can tell that this has been, the way that they designed it, I mean, even with the weathering pieces of it, they've actually taken the time to make it look, I mean, there are dents, there are scratches, you can see where parts are eroded. It's actually really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some of their previous Mechanicus terrain, and they didn't do this level of weathering at the model end of it. So this is a good surprise. I like it. I mean, I like the fact that it looks beat up. This stuff has been abandoned in some cases for decades, for centuries, maybe even millennia. So this is a good looking frame. A lot of work here, a little paint, and this will really pop. And then underneath the second frame is the new style of pipes. And I do say new style. This is totally different. I just did a couple sets of the old thermal conduits. And they're the same size, so that's nice. They're completely compatible. But the styling, it doesn't have these little venti churchy things all over it. Like
there are a couple parts that are open pipes that looks like for leakage or whatnot, but
I mean like
as many.
But I mean like this angle stuff. The only stuff that's got this angling are the control panels.
Yeah, there's a lot more stylization of the Emperor's motif in there, and those are also just beat to hell.
I'm wondering if they're going to offer this as its own kit, because this is really cool, and the fact that it's compatible with the pipes I have. I mean, this is going to make that Imperial, that city board that I'm doing, really nice. I had two sets of the old style, and now I have basically one set, or effectively maybe one set or a half set of the new style. This looks really nice. And again, it just like the boiler, it is all beat to hell. That's crazy.
Well, it said abandoned or...
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. It's been between the original 8th edition and now, it's like been like 300 years from what they were talking about in the lore. So, and then here's the actual frame for the buildings. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Again, very similar to the Mechanicus style building. Kind of like a hybrid between the Mechanicus and the Imperialis. This is like, it looks like the Manufactorum, but with more Imperialis. And again, beat up. There's lots more scratches and dings and dents.
And it looks like there are even parts that are slightly melted or have been twisted and burned.
In the ruins, that was like that, but they didn't go to this level of detail. That's the funny thing.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about with the here, it looks like something tore.
Yeah, like I said, that's the thing. They did it before, but they did just look like much more clean breaks. That's, they really put a lot of effort in detail into the new terrain. I dig this.
As a terrain guy, you very much.
Oh, as a terrain person, I'm in love. I mean, that was why I wanted this, honestly. And the two frames, and it looks like they are identical frames. So we're going to get two. No, they're not identical. They're very similar, but they're not identical. Okay, so there's 4 frames. None of them are identical. These are 2 different buildings that you're going to get. That is very cool. I dig that. Okay, so we've got the instructions book here, and the pieces actually have different names. The old tubes were called, I got the botched here, the thermic plasma conduits. These new pipes are called just thermo pipes, so they're different. All right. The towery thing is called a thermo exchanger shrine. Okay. And then the 2 buildings, one's called a storage fane, and it's meant to be 2 pieces of ruins that come together to make a rectangular building. Okay. So they are doing a lot more self-containing, which is cool, because that was the biggest complaint about some of the terrain issues. And then you've got the other building, which is called a sub-cloister, and they're doing the same thing with it. All right, that's cool. Now, I see their paint job they have in here. I will not be following this paint scheme. I'm going to be painting these to match the paint scheme of my other stuff, so it all blends together. And a board.
Another one.
Okay. So that would be the proper size for a 500-point game.
Oh, good. When are we doing the 500-point game again?
Oh, with that? No, that's a kill team board size.
Okay.
So that's a kill team board. Oh, that's right. The 500 and the 1,000 point game, or the 25 and 50, are both played on the double size board. So this is the right size. So yeah, this is the right size for a 500 or 1,000 point game, 25 or 1,000 or 25 or 50 point power level game. So one board, drop it down, you've got a full game board here. And from the way they describe it, enough terrain for that board. So this should be the amount of terrain for a board. Now, that being said, today, and the day I'm filming is the 24th. This Saturday, I believe, they've announced, I don't know if it's going to actually go on pre-order this week or a week next, but there's a new terrain box they just announced that's a $150 box set. But it's just a crap load of terrain, and it's not any of this. It's all matching this, but it's all new terrain.
So, here's the question.
Yeah?
We all know what a metric ton is. We know what a boatload is. What exactly in measurements is an ass ton?
Okay.
We should probably cut this part out.
Yeah. That is the box. $90. 4 frames of terrain, but they're the full size. They're not the half size frames. With a board. Value? I'd say it's worth it. If you're not the kind to build your own terrain or scratch build your own terrain, it's definitely worth it. For 9th edition, you have to have a good amount of terrain. The nice thing about this box, 2 of the pieces in here, the 2 buildings, are both 5-inch tall buildings. So they actually do obscure lines of sight. That is something that has been lacking in earlier kits, especially from 8th edition. They're the only kits that had 2 levels to them, which is where you got the 5 inches from, they were usually really expensive. So for $90, getting 2 good-sized buildings plus a bunch of other terrain to really dress up your battlefield, I'd say worth it. Your mileage may vary. I'm pleased with this. Like I said, there's a new terrain box coming out. In a perfect world, I'd like to be able to get it relatively right away, but I'm not going to break my back to do it either.
Break the back or the bank.
Right, exactly. But you guys know how much we love our terrain and our boards
Oh yeah.
to epic them up. So, epic or not?
Oh, it will be by the time you're done.
All right, so epic buy, totally worth it. Hope you guys enjoy this. I'm Big D,
I'm Lady Dragon.
and game